It's gonna be so loud when I log on when I hop on Discord with my computer. But
Yep.
I'll get over that.
You can get over that. Because we're big
Yes.
men now. Wait, maybe not. Instead of
No.
children. Yeah, maybe not. All right. Welcome to the Three Accidentals podcast, episode 1.
Oh, yes.
I am Josiah Westendorf.
I'm Isaac Westendorf.
And Levi Westendorf.
Yes, we're all Westendorfs. We call ourselves the Accidentals here. I am better known as Josie. We'll probably go with that for now. Until, because we all collectively agree that's the best name for me. You guys can come up with nicknames later.
It is definitely the best nickname.
Yes.
Just a little bit more.
For better introduction, I'm low on ideas. I think Philippe just showed up.
Oh, nice.
Right now, yes. What we do here, there's 3 main topics we go over. It's music, theology, and games. And that can be whether it's video games or board games. Honestly, those big 3 will cover a lot of possible topics.
Tie in with the second.
Yeah.
What?
Those 3 will basically cover a lot of possible topics. So.
Yeah.
The big 3 accidentals and the 3 topics. 3.
Yeah. Anyway, we should get on with like discussing those things or whatever. Get on to the actual content. I feel like is there anything
you can go halfway through the episode without talking about the topic. You know that, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but that's boring.
100%.
We have to like talk about interesting stuff. That's why people listen to podcasts.
3 accidentals, the big 3 topics, matches the triune God, 3 in 1. Am I right?
I don't know. Well,
I don't know.
We fall a bit short of that, but it's close enough.
We fall a bit short. I'm not saying we're on equivalent terms. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying 3 for 3.
It's similar.
It's kind of cool how it connects.
We're in the basement of like the New York, the Empire State Building, and God and the Trinity. That's at the top.
Yeah,
but it's close. It's close.
Right.
We're like in the same building. Somehow.
Yeah, but like the basement.
The basement. The negative
Just in the
several, the millionth floor.
The mailroom.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Just don't use any maple syrup in your coffee in the mailroom.
No, don't do that.
And even though we call ourselves the 3 accidentals, we can have guests. That's the thing. They are not one of the 3 accidentals. They are not called an accidental. They are just a guest. Just don't be confused whenever guests come on. That is all we ask.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, so that's what we do. If we could, I don't know if we can give more background around ourselves. It might help. Does one of you want to give a background of themselves at all, or for the introduction's sake?
I don't. No.
I feel like I should, being the starter of this, but I have nothing.
I think we should go over Levi's background.
I feel like it'd be a good idea, but I just don't want to.
If you don't want to, and then we the other 2 accidentals will go over the 1 accidental's background as to the best of their knowledge.
No. Well, in that case, I might as well, if you force my hand.
Okay.
No, we're gonna talk about your background, how you made us record late today.
How I made you?
I don't know. I don't know, Isaac. You were playing Blockbuster.
No. You guys were troubleshooting. That was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, but you had to chain the.
Before we say okay and yes and yeah, a couple more times, and all right.
All right.
Stuff like that. I mean, do you have let's get on with our podcast and stuff?
Yeah, we actually do have a topic on board.
Anyone who's somehow listened this far already, must be interested in what we're planning on saying at least. Somewhat,
yeah. Thing is, introductions can be difficult. in the
Yeah,
sense that it's harder to get on topic because we're still figuring this out for the first time. Anyway, we do have a topic on board though. If we're done with introductions, that is. If anyone has anything else that they want to reveal, like favorite color or age or anything. I mean, me
My
and Levi
favorite
are both
color.
18, but I don't have a favorite color. That's the thing. I don't have like favorites. Like, there's too many good things in creation
I
that
mean,
I
I don't
can't.
have
Yeah,
favorites, and even though I like prefer a lot of other colors besides my favorite color in a lot of situations, my favorite color is green.
it is.
I don't know. It's always
Okay,
been green. It's more of a loyalty thing. Like I can't change my favorite color now.
right.
But I do like green. Like it's
I
sort
mean, I
of
do
like
too. Do you like more of the foresty green, like the
the
darker?
appeal. There's like these other colors. Like if you can tell from my video, I'm wearing a lot of brown. Like I would wear brown more than I would wear green.
Oh,
And like there's some colors that look more like appealing to the eye or whatever than green, but for some reason green is just like better.
okay.
Mm.
That's subjective, but yeah, I was gonna say, what kind of green are we talking? Like metallic, darker green, or lighter limer green?
Not a lime green.
Oh,
It's it's
No,
more
you don't
on
like the
the
puke
like blue
green?
side than like the orange side or the red side, I should say. Like if we're an
Mm.
RGB scale, it's more blue, more like green and blue, but
yeah.
not a ton of blue because it's mostly green because it's green. But
You know you're an engineer when you start bringing up the RBG scale when you're
that's
talking
not
about
an
your favorite color.
engineering sort of thing. That's not
Mm-hmm.
We
really
do
very
it in
engineering. But
programming, Isaac.
I guess a little more. I guess that brings up a point for me, like to like give into a little more background. Right now, I'm a freshman at college, going for a mechanical engineering degree. So
Oh yeah,
I mean,
that is pretty cool. It's lit, honestly.
Yeah.
I must
yeah,
say,
Mm-hmm.
the idea is the calculus and the physics. That's not lit, but the
it
idea
is
behind it
lit, but
is.
like it's a blessing in disguise, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
But
actually
the
have to
thing
think
is, it's like
something.
so weird because you'll go into a lecture, you'll understand the lecture and be like, yeah, I got this. Then you go to the homework and you're like, why is this so difficult? I have no idea what I'm doing. It's like
Yeah,
homeworks will like kill you.
it
Mm-hmm.
does depend on the homework, but yeah, I understand college will give you the peak of homework because that is the peak of education in difficulty anyway.
Either that or they just make you go on a field trip to Menards.
Right?
That's a really weird community college thing that a really
Yeah,
bad
I don't know
program
what.
decided to do. Yeah,
Yeah, I
a
don't
little
know
context on that.
what's
That's
up
what
with that.
Isaac's community college did for him. Gave him a useless field trip to Menards. He never forgave him. He dropped out.
Mm-hmm. Nah, it just wasn't the right fit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the program, like, dang, like,
Yeah.
like we could go on and on about that, but we're not gonna go on and on about that.
Yeah, I
Instead,
guess
we're
I
gonna
The
can
get
do
into
some
failure
the
in
more.
that
introduction
college
and
is
actually
not
get to talking
relevant.
about you know, some actually directed topics.
I could I
Instead of
could
just yeah.
do a little more introductory work on my part. For one thing, I'm slightly ignorant, or more than slightly. I'm pretty dang ignorant. In which case, meaning I don't know my vocabulary very well. Levi, what does freshman mean?
Freshman,
I
you
don't
don't know
know.
what
I
freshman means?
genuinely do not know what
You
freshman or like. I know what senior means, but like
That's
there's
such a
Sophomore,
junior and then
junior.
there's yeah, sophomore, whatever the heck those
Man,
are.
you are such a
yeah. It's
homeschooler,
just the
man.
year you're in. Freshman, so like they're the same for high school and college. It's freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. That's just first year, second year,
Fresh.
third year, fourth year.
Okay, gotcha. So
So this is his first
So
year at college, so he's a freshman.
freshman and then sophomore
yeah.
and then junior and then senior, right? That's in that order.
Mm-hmm.
Who made up those names?
Yeah. Freshman, sophomore, junior, senior.
Like sophomore
Yeah,
seems like the
that's
most
crazy. I didn't
random
know.
random
That's
word.
just like the most random homeschool thing.
Yes. Well, part of
That is
you
so
said the
crazy.
word earlier, and I was like, I need to know what that means. Um, and that's was one of the things
Well,
I
now
knew
you
I needed
do,
to
but
reveal about
it's a
myself
little
is that I'm
late.
ignorant. And during several episodes, I will probably ask the definition of several words you guys use. Honestly,
Yeah, but
Yeah,
the thing is, like,
we're just
everyone uses
too
those words. You
knowledgeable.
should know what those words are, Joe. Like, get
scholarships.
yourself together, man.
Okay,
Call
we'll
me.
do.
Oh,
Um, right. I'm graduated, but I do plan to go to a music college in Tennessee this coming July is when it starts, but June is when I go to move down, right? Um,
Hmm. Hey, you'll be a freshman.
but I'll only ever be a freshman. Technically, I'm a senior at the same time, you know.
Oh, really? Well, no, it's your first year, so therefore you are a freshman.
But last year is also a
Mm.
last year, so I don't know. What do you is it's fourth year? That means senior, not last year, right?
Well, there's different, course like for different colleges, you can go for a 1 year or 2 year degree, so you can stop at a sophomore, but then you can go for like 8 years. I don't. So you're a senior for like 5 years.
Right.
well, if it's just like a 1 year program, then they wouldn't really use like the terms freshman, sophomore, junior.
Well, yeah, if there's
They
just
would
the
just use,
one year program, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, if it's just like a one school that's only like 1, 2 like theological programs, like 1, 2 years, then it's not going to really use those.
More music apparently.
But
Yep.
okay, well, Joe, like, I'm like, I kind of want to cut this short and like get on with the first topic.
Okay. As
Like,
long
what
as
do you
Isaac
got?
doesn't have any introductory information, he's the only one that of all of us that has a girlfriend. I'll say that right now.
Yeah.
Well, he has a girlfriend.
Yeah, I have a woman. You guys are just single.
Mm-hmm.
So,
We're living the dream,
Yeah.
boy.
mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, my favorite color is blue, not by choice.
Not by choice.
Well, I mean, it kind of was before, but now it has to be.
Okay.
Because you is that like your woman's forcing you or something? Because her favorite color is blue or
No,
something?
her favorite color is blue, and I already liked it, so now my favorite color is
Oh, it
blue.
makes so much sense
You
now.
know, like 42% of the
Yeah.
population's favorite color is blue. It's like the most unoriginal thing to do to have your favorite color blue.
Well, thank you.
It's the most
The sky
unoriginal.
is pretty. My girl's eyes are pretty. They're blue, so.
Yeah, I can
Mm.
imagine. I mean,
Huh.
I
I wonder
know.
what. Yeah, I wonder what the ratio of like men's favorite colors to women's favorite colors.
Oh
Because
yeah.
I know like women's like there's more girly colors or whatever, and I bet like the majority of people whose favorite color is blue are men. Like,
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. So, that makes me think of another thing. Isaac, you will be the one who like looks stuff up for us whenever we think of stuff like that because I have during
Oh,
because of tech, I have to stay in this one screen here. You don't need to look that up right now because we need to get on to with the topic, but you
I'm going
can.
to.
You absolutely can. Yeah.
I don't
Um.
know, because there's like the 42% of favorite color people's favorite colors are blue. Like
Yeah.
42% of the population has that opinion, but like how much percent of that are men? No.
Orange is high up there for me, honestly. Orange, red, like those.
Yeah, I
I
feel
like
like
orange
orange
when
has
I'm
got to be
hunting
one of
because then I
people's
don't
favorite
get
colors
shot.
too.
You guys spoke at the
Huh?
same time.
Yeah.
Oh,
What?
I
What?
like orange when I'm hunting
Oh
because then I don't
yeah.
get shot. You know
Right.
what I was gonna
Oh,
say.
yeah. Yeah, I do feel like I'll say it again since Isaac was speaking at the same time. But yeah, I feel like orange is also high up there. It's not as high up as blue, obviously, because nothing is. But I feel like a lot of people's favorite color is orange too.
Okay. You're basically gonna say every color I like is unoriginal and therefore
I mean, I could,
you could.
but I mean, you said you didn't have a favorite color, but then you said you liked
I
orange.
feel like my favorite
Does that mean
orange
you?
is the orange that's so close to red, you almost can't tell the difference. You know what I mean?
All right.
Uh,
So, according to this graph, 42% of men like the color blue as their
Oh,
favorite color,
less than
and
50.
25% of men like green, and then 12% of men like purple. That's the top three.
Top
Top three
3.
for women is 29% blue, 27% purple, and 19% green. So the top three colors for both
Wait, pink isn't up there
are
for.
Blue,
green,
green,
What about
purple.
pink?
blue, and
Is
purple.
pink just so unoriginal that it's no one's favorite color?
Well, pink
Seven
is just
percent
like
of
too
women
much of a like
and 1%
feminine
of
color.
men.
Pink is pretty
Like
good though,
pink
honestly. If I must say anything, I
for
almost
women like red better than pink.
I'd almost
It's
rate
9%
pink over
according to this
blue
graph.
personally.
You like pink over blue?
Almost, I think so. Maroon is really high too for
I
me.
like maroon.
Yeah,
Maroon,
no,
yeah.
Not
that's not
because
a very
I
great hot
played
take.
for a high school that had maroon as its color. That's definitely not why I like
Oh,
maroon.
okay, yeah, right. Okay, anyway,
I mean,
I think we can get on with the topic now. Um, talking about
Okay.
how can we have fun as Christians. So, this it's basically about a lot of things are just a balance of whether it goes too far in one direction or too far in the other. Like too far in
Yeah.
a way you don't have any fun at all and therefore you're miserable, which is not Christian to be miserable. But not that's a blanket statement, too broad of a statement. But the other side is where you're having too much fun in the wrong areas, in the sinful areas.
Right. Yeah. It's when the fun that you're having is taking the place of um, number one in your life with God. God should be your number one focus, your number one joy. Um, and doing things for Him should be that number one joy and should be your main source of happiness. But that can come with hanging out with friends and doing stuff with the community. Um, as long as you're doing it with the right mindset that everything I do is for the Lord.
Yeah.
hmm and like back onto like kind of what Joe said about kind of it being a balance. Like on one side you have like a monk who would wear like ragged clothes and who would in some situations hurt themselves and just like deprive themselves of like fun to serve the Lord. Or I mean, that's a debate whether monks are really like serving the Lord that much, but I feel like most monks probably were. But then there's the other side of the spectrum where you care more about having fun than your relationship with your creator, and so
Mhm.
you you do all sorts of bad sinful stuff. And yes, it's a balance, but like hot take, like this earth wasn't made to like this earth isn't here to have fun as we have it like right now. That's kind of what heaven's for. Like this earth
Heaven's gonna
is
be a
here.
party.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
this earth is
correct
here so
kind.
we can have like our purpose on earth is communion with God. And like communion with God is fun. So like you know just like the flat out answer the question, should Christians have fun? Then yes, because the most fun you're probably going to have is when you're in communion with God and when you're the closest to Him you possibly can be.
Yeah.
But in the same sense, you like you shouldn't be like there's no reason for. Well, I shouldn't say there's no reason because there is some reasons to like do fun stuff like playing video games or you know hanging out and talking with friends or like doing stuff that's fun but that isn't exactly like super orientated on like God and Christian values, because you can use those things to reach people who like aren't Christians. You can use video games and board games to really connect with people who aren't Christians and kind of show them what God's love is like. But then again, there you have to be showing you still have to be in communion with God and stuff. So
Yeah, you had
I mean, I
to.
guess to summarize all of that, like just like in every situation, I mean, like, you should be spending time with God and stuff. Like, that reminds me of like a verse, like, "And everything you do, do it for the glory of God." Like, yeah. So, I mean, yeah. Again, in short, just live in community with God, and like you will have fun. So,
Yeah. That reminded me of another verse as well. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you as well. All these fun things, all certain fun things as
mm,
well, will be added to you as well.
yeah.
Yeah,
That kind of
and
also
the
reminds
verse
me
you
of
were
how Paul's saying he found. Sorry, Isaac. I'll finish real quick, but like that kind of reminds me of Paul saying he's like found the secret to being content, and the secret to being content is realizing that all you need to be content is God. Like the fun stuff in your life can be very useful. Like a lot of people use a lot of fun stuff, like video games or sports or anything like that, as a platform of like discipleship and reaching out to non-Christians, and they use it as evangelistic means. So a lot of fun stuff can be good, but your like primary focus and stuff should be on God.
Yes. And not just non Christians, too. It's also to help um, Christians to stay on their path as well.
Yeah, so the one verse you guys were thinking of, 1 Corinthians 10:31. Therefore, whether you eat or drink or whatever you do, do all for the glory of God. And to go along with that, just literally everything you do, you could be you know out you know partying up the town, but if you are out there with the purpose of I am going to spread the love of God and I am going to show people I'm a Christian, um one, you're going to be different from the world, so you're probably not going to be out partying
Right.
as far as drinking and stuff, but you're going to be out there, you can hang out with people, talk with people you don't know, um as long as you're able to not surround yourself with them as friends, um you you can go out and preach the gospel to some of these kids and just love on them, because I know in the public school system there are kids that just don't get that. um
Yeah, some of
and
these
some.
kids. That's that's such a great statement to
It
like to
is.
say
It is a
for
great
them to be
statement. I
doing that.
noticed that too. He said kids as if
Yeah.
I get what
You
he's
know,
saying,
Sorry, I'm
but
gonna.
even like even
Hey,
like in our
I'm not even a
young
teenager anymore,
stages
guys.
of adulthood, even in our young stages of adulthood, it's so
Yeah.
easy to see like teenagers and high school students as like young like kids. It's
yes.
so funny
It
how
is, yeah.
quickly like that mindset changes,
Yeah.
how quickly you grow up. But anyway, I kind of want to ask a deeper question along the same lines. Like, should Christians together, like, if they're just like, hanging out together and stuff, like, should they have fun then? And this is not necessarily
Well,
asking the
that should
question,
be fun.
is it wrong for them to have fun? But is it can Christians and how would Christians be purposeful when spending time together to like grow their faith and like be good Christians for God and stuff when they're spending time together?
Yeah, so it means if you if your focus if your focus isn't just to have fun, right? Um
Mhm.
fun can I believe fun can sometimes be the thing to do when you're in a certain situation and your focus while doing those things is on God. I think that fun can happen, but it's too often it becomes the primary focus.
Yeah, no,
Mhm.
there is 100% times where mainly when you're by yourself, because when idle hands are the devil's playground, and that's true. When you're by yourself, I'm just gonna have fun. That's when sin can enter your life very easily.
Yeah.
So communion with other believers, that's 100% when you should be having fun. Because honestly, the average atheist nowadays, they don't want to become Christians. Like I've met people and talked to people who just don't want to become Christians because they don't think they're going to have any fun because that's all they've seen from Christian circles, and it's sad because as Christians we should that shouldn't be the thing that people take away from our lifestyle because we have the ultimate joy and the ultimate peace and understanding that we are not going to stay on this earth. I mean, we're going to heaven. This earth is nothing. We get to be we're on this earth to have communion with our fellow believers, communion with God, and communion with the unbeliever to fulfill the great commission and you know preach the gospel. And preaching the gospel, that doesn't always entail you know just hitting them over the head with the Bible
Right.
or just saying, hey, you're a sinner. The most effective um form of ministry that I've seen, that I know my uncle is doing now, and what I've tried to do in the my workplaces and at when I played football back in the day, is just loving on these kids, and adults.
And
So it's
adults. Yeah.
just yeah, and adults,
I was gonna make sure you
because
said that.
they just don't get that the normal atheist non-Christian worldview is don't mess with me. I want, my own happiness, and I'm going to, search for myself. I don't want you to be part of it unless I need you to make me happy.
Right.
That is that is our world's worldview. And they're not going to go out of their way to, make other people happy or feel loved. I mean, in some, cultures, people will open the door for each other, but it's, not 100%. And it's like, as Christians, just little, simple acts of kindness and just being nice can, turn someone's day around.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a really good point. That like, what you said about idle hands being devil's playground, and like atheists, like they don't really think there's fun outside of drinking and like smoking some bad stuff, or
Long
like
pause.
Yeah.
like sexual stuff or stuff like that. But
Yeah.
and they know Christians don't do that, and so it can be really easy to characterize us as a bunch of people who live for a bunch of values and beliefs, but just like because haven't experienced any joy and that sort of stuff, they don't think our lifestyle is any fun at all. But really, like the truth is there is no lasting joy in what they do, and there's lasting joy in what we do. So yeah,
Right.
it's really
Happiness and
good.
joy are two big different
Yeah.
things.
So yeah, you should definitely like. I definitely agree. Yeah, you should have fun your with your Christian friends and stuff. And you should hang out and have fellowship. That's a really important thing. But like, if you have any like long lasting friendships or some really good friends, I mean, you should take that step further. I mean, like, start a Bible study with your friends. Try to talk about some deep biblical concepts. I mean, spend some time praying together. I mean, there's stuff you can do with like your friends that's very godly, and if there's no reason not to do it, so I mean, you should do it.
Right. And
Yeah, and you
expand.
don't always have to, have a Bible study and hang out. We're just doing the Bible. You can have fun doing other things. Like we've played, board games and had theological discussions over playing a board game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there was a video game that Super Smash Bros. That me and Levi would play with our friend, and it was,
I like the way you put
we'd
that.
get some deep theological discussions while beating each other up,
Yep.
and so it's like,
I feel like most theological discussions we've had haven't been over Smash Bros.
Yeah, I was
But
gonna say. I don't know.
we've had a couple though, and so it's like you don't have to, just say we're only doing Bible studies
You
and
don't have to be completely serious. You can have fun, and yeah. So
yeah,
we're,
yeah,
Christianity is not about just not having fun and being solemn all the time. I mean,
I
maybe
mean,
that's the
but
wrong
our
God
wording,
God
created
but
us
is
for a reason.
I mean,
He
Jesus, when he
created
was
our
here,
personalities for a reason, so you should.
yeah, he did. We
I
are
mean,
created from God, and yes, we have a sinful nature that wants what it wants, and most of the time that's to be happy, and it doesn't care if other people aren't. But when Jesus was on this earth, he attended a wedding and he turned water into wine. So
Yep.
I
yeah, I
mean,
mean, if
Jesus is a fan of
that's not
partying.
being like the life of a party, I mean, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
So I
it
mean,
was a
it's like,
lot of wine too, like a lot.
well,
Yep.
yeah, they had a lot of people to feed,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm sure. Yeah, because weddings back in the day, they would last three whole days or more, sometimes weeks, especially in the Jewish culture.
Yeah.
Um,
So you would need a
so
lot of wine. Yeah.
you would need a lot of wine. So Jesus turning a whole bunch of water barrels into wine, that was a big thing for I'm sure the guests in the whole party.
I didn't time drinking this, by the way, and this is water, not vodka, just for the record.
Yes, yeah.
In
I was like,
case you didn't
not
know.
that alcohol is a bad thing to drink, but like,
Well, it is slightly illegal for me right now, but
Well, yeah, none of
yeah,
us
a
are
little
really
bit,
above the age
yeah,
of 21.
yeah, maybe a little bit,
and
but
the reason for that rules is because of people overdoing it all the time.
yes,
Well, yeah, it
right,
doesn't stop people over 21 overdoing it, obviously. But you mean,
under 21, you mean?
Yeah, you meant to say under 21.
Under,
I actually meant to say over, but
Oh,
I
oh,
mean, both applies.
right. It just generally
yes, both
applies to
apply.
the yeah.
Yeah, putting an age limit doesn't stop the people from over the age
Right.
of the age
Yeah,
Well,
limit. So,
yeah.
yeah.
They just think it's
So
safer.
yeah, you can have alcohol and this stuff, but is it causing? Is it your number one thing in your life,
Right. Is it the
or
thing
is
you
God
use to the thing you rely on to um
give you happiness?
right. In that case your idol. Like anything can be your
Yes.
idol.
Yeah, money can be your idol. Um,
George.
yeah, Big George can be your idol.
Yes.
Big George,
Video games.
do you need to provide context on who Big George is, or is that
I'm
relevant?
sure people understand.
Okay,
George
I guess.
Washington on the $1 bill. Okay. Now people
Mm,
understand.
yes.
And that,
Oh,
that
did you
goes
not
for Abe
understand? Is
Lincoln.
that
That
why you
goes
asked for
for Ben
context?
No,
Franklin.
that went
Ben
over my head.
Franklin
That's
especially.
not exactly a term that I have heard used to describe dollar bills.
Wait, what did I?
Apparently, you're just too young or something. I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
Bruh, you're like a year older than that. Chill.
A year and a
A year
half.
and a half at least. Yeah, I was.
Less than a year and a half, actually.
Okay, a year and like 5 months, whatever.
Like
Yes.
more close to the four, I actually think, but yeah,
Fine,
close to
whatever.
the four.
Okay. What were we talking about? You
We were
completely
talking
forgot.
about
Oh yeah,
not getting
different things can
drunk.
be idols.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
different things can be idols. Like
Well, yeah, that.
as a
Yeah.
married couple, you can, value your physical relationship more than you value God. And it's not like there are things that are good that can value more. Like you can value reading the Bible, which I mean, reading the Bible is communion with God, but you can value that more over, actually, living out what it says. Going to church can be an idol.
It can. Yeah.
I go to every service, Monday, Wednesday, Sunday, every single Bible study, every single event. I go to all three services on Sunday. Now, this is way far on the one spectrum, but it's like people value going to church more than actually having communion with God,
Yeah.
and, and church as we have it as a culture today is nowhere near what it was, as the original church. The reason we have, pastors is because of Timothy and the popes. Pastors weren't really a thing back then. The deacons and everyone, they had communion in someone's home. It was probably like a group of, you know, 30 or more believers, depending on the city or less. And they'd, get together, they'd have fellowship together, they'd eat and drink, and they'd
And drink. Yeah.
discuss Bible topics. Someone would, bring up would be, and one of the deacons would be in charge of the message that week or something. That was,
Yeah.
the structure of the early church.
Yeah.
That'd be an interesting thing to study. Is kind of like where the modern idea of a pastor like kind of came from, and like what the
Well,
church looked like more back then.
yeah,
'Cause I don't know if we know a lot about that.
Timothy was a pastor. That's what, First and Second Timothy are about, is um
Oh.
him being, discipled as the leader of that church by
Yeah,
Paul, I believe.
yeah, and then like Titus and I think Timothy too. I think though like it's Titus and one other book. I'm pretty sure it's the Timothy's that talk
Mhm.
about elders and deacons and leadership in the church too. So yeah,
Yes.
there's leadership roles and stuff like that, and there's
Oh, 100%.
yeah.
Yeah, there's
So like that stuff
leadership
is
and
all
structure in the church
basically
for a reason.
our idea of a church nowadays is like based off of the Bible. I mean, it should be. It's God's
Yes.
church, quite obviously.
Yes. Yeah, but the original church and the original idea was, we'd get together, we'd worship God, and we'd discuss the Bible together, and usually that was smaller groups.
Mhm.
Not to say that these big mega churches are a bad thing, but they're just, they're not as personal anymore. You can
Yeah.
just go to church, you know, every
Yeah,
Sunday
I
and
do
leave
agree
and
with
not.
that. I definitely prefer a smaller gathering and group over like
Yeah,
a
you're more
big.
intimate.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
get to know people there.
That's one of the
The
but there's a
smaller the
things.
plus to
group
the
is,
other
the
side
more you
too.
know of everybody.
Like I've just like went to CrossCon, which is a conference of like 6,000 people, and I mean a lot of people like that because like a lot of the points they make is it's what's heaven's gonna be like.
Oh
It
yeah, 100%.
it
Yeah.
like people like sometimes just like can get pretty overwhelmed and pretty amazed by that much people singing, and it's amazing like having that much believers united together and like
Yeah.
Oh
worshiping
yeah.
Him.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Like
Whenever
that's
that
it.
happens, it's awesome. But I don't think it should be, the main, church. Some of these big mega churches, they're okay. Some of these pastors are doing good work, but the
But then
bigger the
it's
church, I feel
also
like
a
the
lot
less
harder to have like
intimate
an
it
intimate
is.
personal like
Yeah.
studies like together. You know,
Yeah.
like a lot
Yeah.
of small churches have small Bible studies where people like everyone's able to like chip in and say their 2 cents,
Hmm.
That's
and
the
everyone's
thing that
able
they
to
were
grow off
saying
each other.
actually about the music colleges. They boasted smaller groups because then that means the instructor can get more, you know, the each
Personal.
yeah, more personal, and each of them can ask more questions as well.
Yeah. Yeah, the smaller the group, the, more personal you can get, and more you can cater more to what people are interested in or you need to learn.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah,
The
and that's my. I mean, my college is also like the same way. Like I don't know. I guess it's not
okay.
super relevant to talk about it, but
Is that a Tennessee thing?
if it's a small
It's a
college
small
thing.
college
I
thing.
mean,
Yeah.
yeah, if I have a question or I need something, I need to address something, I can just email or I can go to the professor during office hours or I can talk to them after lecture. I mean, it's super easy to reach your professor.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's also like so much things like tutoring stuff that like comes free with your college tuition that helps a lot. Not
Hmm.
that I've gone to tutoring a lot. I probably should take advantage of the things I have at hand more, but
Right. I feel like I'm gonna fall into the same trap of not take of
well,
not.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a pretty easy trap to fall into. I mean, not gonna lie.
It's human pride. I got this.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, that's another topic. I should write that down.
Yeah, we'll have
Human
to.
pride, that is a
Yeah, we'll
huge
probably have
topic.
to cut
Yes.
this a little short pretty soon because I do actually have some stuff I need to do pretty quick here. So
Okay.
Okay.
have to.
All right. Yeah. Going on from here.
I'll probably just pull up my computer and start doing it while we do this. Honestly, might not be that bad of an idea.
Okay.
Okay.
It's gonna mess up my camera angle here, but
And
Okay. So we
dude's
don't
in
have
the
to cut this
car 'cause
short.
his car broke down.
Yep.
yeah, well, it's not
It's
broken
like a
down anymore. It's
2018
just a bad.
Toyota too. It's crazy.
Yeah, the battery
It doesn't
died.
stop the
Apparently, if
battery.
it
It's the
jumped,
same batteries that are put in every car.
Newer cars are harder to jump because of their designs sometimes.
yeah, they are.
This battery is very accessible. It's not
Oh.
well, it's
You should
accessible.
get one of those battery packs. I can
Yeah,
send
I
you
have
one.
one of those. It works about half
Yeah,
the time, but that's not important.
you don't need it that often. So
Right.
That's real sick.
yeah.
I'll just be looking over like this most of the time. But
Okay.
Oh, okay, sure.
That works. Um yeah. We started off with
you'll hear this.
theology. That's going to happen a lot. Okay. Theology.
Yeah. Well, I
Theology.
mean, our whole life should be tied to that. So I
Yes.
mean, it's not a
So
bad thing to
basically,
talk about.
yeah, it's the main topic and the other two are just there.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, music and games are probably two of the best ways to have fun as a Christian.
As a
Because
Christian,
music,
yeah. Music
music,
can go
that's how
pretty
we
far,
praise
yeah.
God. I mean, I love making music
Yeah,
and
I mean,
playing for church.
Yeah.
And
music is
board games and video games are just how I like to have communion with friends. Sports, playing football, that was fun. I got to I got to, minister to some of these kids, and I got to, spend time with my brother and a couple other Christians that were there. And we got to minister a bit, and I think we've affected those kids' lives, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Not kids anymore, but and then
Mhm.
nowadays I get to play board games with my friends when I see them, and it's a great way because to have fellowship with one another because we can talk while we play a game. Unless it's a super fast-paced game like Captain Sonar, but
That and
yeah. I can just like a quick side note, just like you should buy Captain Sonar if you're a board game like a party board game person. It is an awesome
it is
board game to
insanely
play with
amazing. Yes.
party. It's like a party. It's like eight.
yeah, this is not sponsored by the way.
No,
So
yeah, we're not sponsoring
this is just our
this.
general love for the
It's
game.
just like
Yes.
yeah. I mean, it's just
But
like
it
one of the
almost
funnest games
it's
ever.
almost like
You
our
should play it.
what we've been talking about so far is seems to dethrone Captain Sonar, but we're not because it's all in fellowship. It's all in
It
fellowship
is,
and in
Yeah.
yes,
sharing.
yes. Is when you're having fellowship with your fellow believers, you're growing closer to people who want you to be better and want you to be closer to God. So the
Yeah.
closer you get with those people, the more you can talk to them about things. And so having good Christian friends that you can talk to, and you can play games like Captain Sonar with, and some of these other games, I would highly recommend Deliverance.
Deliverance. I was just about to talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah, Deliverance. That's a great game. If you like games like D&D, but don't want as much of the demonic feel that you get from D&D at times,
Yeah.
Deliverance is a
Honestly, that
great
would be
game.
a good talk. Like just like D&D. Like I guess I'll give my quick hot take on it now. Like the people who don't play D&D because they say it's demonic don't realize how like you how like open of a game it is almost. Like I'm trying to find a good word, but open's the best one I can find to
Yeah,
describe.
you can play that
Like
game without
you
any
can make
demonic
you
stuff.
literally make up whatever storyline you want and then you play to that storyline. There's
Yes.
literally like there's no influencing factors like from D&D that don't change besides like species like elves and dwarfs and humans.
Oh
When
yeah.
there's the only thing that gets sort of dark with that, which
Is the
is
necromancy
is a
stuff.
different,
That is
yeah,
very
is
that's
necromancy or like wizards and stuff. Which as a Christian you can, I
you
I
can just
mean
play without
I
those.
wouldn't
They
fault you
don't need to be in
for
the
like
game.
not liking stuff like wizards or magic and stuff like that. So if you don't play in D&D because people can play as wizards, I mean, okay, but there's literally like, I mean, you can look into like all the like the different items and stuff, but there's basically nothing besides the fact that there is just plain magic.
Right.
Anyway, I'll be done going off of that tangent.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That gave me.
it has its issues, but you can play it without it, using any of the demonic stuff. But it's still the game is, was designed with that in it and designed um as that purpose. So I can see why people don't play it. And I love that, there are, Christian spin-offs of it like Deliverance
Hmm.
Yeah.
that, you can play.
I just wrote down 3 different topic ideas from that small
Nice.
So that's
discussion.
cool.
One of them.
Also, we'll probably like for our 2 viewers, we'll probably like
Dude,
get
we
like
already
a
have
Google
6
Forms or like
7.
subscribers
send
to
out
the
an
channel.
email
I don't
where
know
you
what
can
you're
ask
talking
your own
about.
questions too, because we would like to answer some of your questions too. I
Yes.
mean, it's not like anyone listens to this podcast, but if you
No.
do, I mean, we can listen. You can like, we'll answer your questions.
Yes.
So
Isaac is excellent at marketing for some reason. He like sent out the podcast to several
yeah,
of our friends, and we already have
and we might
7
actually have more than
subscribers.
2 listeners.
We have
Oh, we
7.
already have
No.
6 subscribers.
7.
Let's like as of two
Yeah, I
hours.
mean,
As of like
if you
3,
listen to this, I
we
mean,
had 6
subscribe to
subscribers.
us on
So.
YouTube. I mean, it's gonna be. Is it gonna be on Spotify too?
Yeah,
Right?
that's the
Yeah.
idea.
Okay, then you can follow us on Spotify.
On
Honestly, we
whatever
should
you
get an
use
Instagram.
for podcast, yeah, it'll
I
be
don't really know
anywhere.
how. I know podcasts usually have an Instagram, but I don't usually know how they market their Instagram. But we should get an
It
Instagram too,
depends on
just
the
to be.
distributor. I still need to look into it, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could just make our own Instagram and connect the different channels and stuff.
Yeah, this guy's an
Make that fun.
Instagram. I'm not sure why. But
Because it's social media
dude,
as a
YouTube
podcast.
is the only social media necessary, and it's not even necessary. That's another topic. Social media.
Social media is
Well, yeah, so
another
it's just
great
for, like
topic.
marketing
Yes.
ourselves. We should have as much outlets available, and we should just have a generic social media website like Instagram. I mean, that's not a bad idea.
Yes, but which
Instagram and
one?
Facebook I see uses for. There's, other ones like TikTok where it's just like I
It's
it's
almost
again, idle
straight.
hands are
Yeah.
the devil's playground, and like stuff like TikTok and Snapchat can be
Those are the
um
2 main ones, too. They're both over YouTube, which is why I feel like YouTube
Yeah,
still
well,
yes.
somewhat
Snapchat
supports
is
bigger
interesting
attention span.
because it's not necessarily like coming from Snapchat, all like bad stuff. It's just from the people who. It's really just from the people who use it,
Yeah.
Yeah, the
and it's
Snapchat
just
there's
the
no
culture
consequence.
surrounding Snapchat. I feel like is can be, especially with like teenagers and stuff, can be very bad. And if you're just
Again,
like if you're a young person or like somebody who uses Snapchat, I mean, take what we said with a grain of salt. Don't be insulted, please. But
or be
like
insulted.
just like
Yeah.
I don't know, just like I guess sending out like I mean we obviously don't know that much about Snapchat.
Because
None
we
of
don't use
us are
it.
on
Yeah.
Snapchat, so
Well, I know a
I
bit
mean you
about
probably
it
know more than we do. But just saying,
from
I
my
mean
girlfriend,
yeah,
but she deleted it because she didn't want to use it anymore. And the
Yeah.
only reason she was having it had it in the first place is because a couple of her cousins liked to text her on that, and she used it very carefully. She didn't add anybody. She didn't talk to about beforehand on there because there's a lot of accounts like after deinstalling it from her phone, she gets notifications in her email that she's got another follower, just a random dude. It's like that that site can be dangerous
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
as
basically what
far as
Snapchat
it
is.
has no
It's
boundaries
a site
and
for
no
a bunch of
consequences.
lonely guys and lonely girls just to add each other on Snapchat because they want to
Because that'll definitely
because they
fill
just
the hole
want
in your
to talk
soul.
to a bunch of
Right there.
people of the opposite gender. You know,
Yeah, yeah, you
of course
can
that's
use
not
it
very
as long as
descriptive,
you're
but I
careful
mean you get
and
the
as
gist of what I'm
long
saying.
All right.
as you
This is
have
this
your
is
Christian
going off a little
stewardship.
far. This is for another day. Social media. I'm just gonna say that right
Yes.
now. I was gonna say one of the topics I wrote down was magic versus miracles when we were back when we were talking about like board games. Like it reminded me like magic versus miracle because it's specifically says in scripture like um the arts like divination and stuff is
Well,
detested.
one is either one in when used in the real world is only really found in like witchcraft and stuff along those lines, and one is
To
obviously from
self
God.
glorify and fulfill yourself.
Yeah, but like totally saying like magic is bad is kind of denouncing like kind of what like magic is used in most instances because magic in most instances is just an element of fantasy of like a fantasy movie or like a fantasy book. There's like
Mm-hmm.
I would be surprised if you found a book that was fantasy and you could point out that it had no magic whatsoever in it. That's just there's no. I'm fairly certain that's a specific part to fantasy books.
Yeah, fantasy
I mean,
books. Yeah.
Yeah, the fantasy genre, it is
so
big,
like
pretty big
obviously like J.R.R. Tolkien wrote a fantasy book and it had magic in it. C.S. Lewis
Yes.
wrote The Chronicles of Narnia, a fantasy book, and it had magic in it. So
Yeah.
obviously,
Well,
like
part.
the thing with
tons of Christians
Narnia is
have
magic was portrayed as the miracles.
yeah,
Yes.
but I guess that's a good point. But like Lord of the Rings, like the rings were magic and they were dark magic,
Hmm.
but it was still written by a Christian author and it still had Christian morals to it.
Right, but
Yeah.
that
So
doesn't.
like
So yeah. Mm.
it's not obviously I'm not saying like magic is okay. You can like you should go find your nearest person who practices witchcraft and learn a few tips and tricks. I'm just saying like there's so much harmless magic that's in fantasy books
To
or
read about,
something
yeah.
like that.
It's
But
yeah, it's
obviously,
if
you shouldn't
it
pronounce
rules
that
your
totally together. You
life.
should be careful. Like, you shouldn't just be like totally fine with like stuff like that. You should like when you see magic, like no, be aware of like what magic is. Like, witchcraft is bad. Like, don't do
Yes.
it.
Hmm. Right. So it's a thing is it glorifying God or is it, tearing him down?
Yeah.
And how are you using it in your life? Cuz I like reading, a good fantasy book now and again. Um, and I loved reading books back in the day. I read a lot of, different fantasy genres. Uh, and it was good for my childhood. I mean, I wasn't, you know, doing all this other stuff that other kids were doing at my age because I was, busy reading a book. Now, the book wasn't, helping my Christian faith too much, but
I
I
mean,
mean, like
and
I
you were
said,
a
a
homeschooler that
couple
was
different,
completely oblivious of those things too. So,
yeah, a lot of the time, yeah.
Yeah.
Homeschooling does help with a lot of stuff.
A lot of the
well,
things that people get
you're
Yeah,
not
it
gonna be
doesn't,
exposed to.
oblivious
separate
forever.
yourself from it, but it helps.
Hmm.
Right. There are things that you like the original topic is what how can Christians have fun? There are things that you can um things that you can do, but there are and cautiously like some you can I think you can do certain things that um for another person if their focus isn't on God, it would therefore lead them astray to an idol. But there are also certain things that can't just really should not be even considered or done. It can't possibly benefit your Christian faith or to serve God in that way. There are certain things that just can't do that, and
Yeah,
therefore should be
and
avoided. And that's what homeschooling
yeah,
helps with is that those certain things you're not exposed to, at least at first. And when you're older,
mhm,
when you are exposed to it, hopefully you would be more able to determine that it is terrible.
right, and you are most impressionable from the ages of 0 to about 14. I think is what the study is
Okay.
showed. And we send our kids to school for about 90% or more of that time, and we expect the um, public school system to not impression our kids, not have an effect on them, and for them to turn out as godly Christians, which can happen. I've got a friend who is homeschooled and just about the whole way through. But even he says it's a rare occurrence, and he doesn't want to homeschool his kids.
you mean
So it's
like public school,
Yeah,
not
I was gonna
homeschool?
yeah,
say.
he doesn't want to public school his kids.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
my
you're
bad.
saying
Yeah,
he was a public schooler. You said he was a
He was a
homeschooled.
public schooler.
Yeah.
He went to
Okay.
public school. But
I was gonna
he's
say.
like, and he made it through. But he's like, I don't want to send my kids to public school. I was lucky that I came out of public school to homeschooler.
Right.
And that's what his words were. And it's like as a Christian, I want my kids to grow up in the way they should go, and when I have kids eventually, they grow up in the way they should go and not depart from it. So I don't trust the public school system to teach my kids, anything godly at all, because they've shown time and time and again nowadays that they're more worried about what's politically correct than what they actually need to learn most of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, does that any more words? Does that kind of like wrap up
It
everything?
kind of does, yeah. Um,
Yeah.
Is there
I see we kind
anything
of
you
ran out
sort of
of
want to
thoughts. There's a point of time where we'll like all of a sudden all of us three will run out of thoughts, and
Yeah.
at this point it's almost a good time for us to do so. Um,
Yeah.
well, it was an excellent discussion, I think.
Oh, very. Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can definitely go more into depth over music and board games. The next next episode,
Yeah, and how they relate to
how they
Christianity.
relate to your Christian walk and
Yep.
having fun as a Christian.
Yep.
Because I know there's some Christians that don't like to put anything worldly into their life, which is good because we're supposed to be apart from the world. But when you go too far, like to remove everything from the world, you can no longer minister to it. So there's a fine balance. Um, but the Bible says if it causes you to sin, to cut it off. So if you can't, sin, can't not sin with something in your life, you need to just cut it out. And if if that's, causing you to have fun with some people, but causing you to sin at other times, you just need to cut it out. And it's what it is your Christian walk is above having fun. Your salvation is more important than, a couple seconds here on this earth.
Yeah.
Because, compared to eternity, a day on this earth is nothing. And so we are really just on this earth. Our only goals should be to come out of it as, go into heaven and bring as many people as we can with us. And probably one of the best ways, in my opinion, to do that is to, you know, love everyone. And that's not, accept them from who they are necessarily. You have to have standards, but
One
just
second.
Yeah.
I gotta
not judge
get
them
on my
for what
hotspot.
they're doing, but show them the love of Christ.
Mm-hmm.
And you can do that while having fun. And
Yes.
honestly, if you're not having fun as a Christian, then the rest of
You're
the
probably
world's
doing
going to
something
see
wrong.
you and not going to want to become a Christian. So you lose a lot of your testimony.
Yep. A lot of
Yeah.
yeah. If the way you're living doesn't look
You gotta be joking me.
comfortable. Oh.
I have this thing that I have to submit now, and it just deleted everything.
No, that's sad.
No, like I'm cooked.
Well,
Everything?
that's sad. And kids, this is why you submit your homework before the deadline and not,
Well, I would have just submitted if I wasn't doing this right now. Just saying.
Oh,
Oh.
right. Well, you could have done this earlier. I don't know what you were doing then.
Jumping his car to make it work. That was one
I
of them.
suppose that's a valid, that's a valid thing. Hey, you
Yes.
got 5 minutes to midnight. You're fine. You got this.
Yes.
I have to rewrite everything.
You can't undo the deleting of everything.
Well, it reloaded the website because I wasn't connected to internet.
Oh,
Oh. How much do you need to
that's the
rewrite?
issue.
Like 150 words, 100 words.
Okay.
That sucks.
It does.
Anyway, while Levi's doing that,
Yeah. See,
I'm sure she'll be
our
able to.
timing it is around the time. It could
Yeah.
go for another 30 minutes or it could be at this cap. Like I was thinking targets around 30 to 90 minutes, could go longer. I don't think any shorter though.
Yeah. if we have more stuff to talk about, the episode's gonna be longer. We might have
Yeah.
a two-parter or something.
Oh yeah, for sure. Those will happen, I think.
Oh yeah, yeah. The two-parters are where we talk for one session for way too long, and we're like, yeah, we're gonna give it to you guys in 2 episodes.
Yes. Yes. Um, the next one next time I was hoping to talk about how Christians can listen to secular music.
That's a great topic, um, because some songs you just probably shouldn't,
So yeah,
and
that's
there's some songs that are like, mm.
mhm.
Yeah, but it's definitely a great topic for
Yeah.
next time. Yeah,
Yeah. I'm trying to think of an outro
I'm sure there's
phrase.
some Bible verses that it'll say something about it.
Possibly.
Yeah,
I
I
wonder
know
back
there's
in
the one verse that goes about don't take the Lord's name in vain. So songs like that, with
Well,
that
that's next.
stuff in
That
it.
is
That's
next week's topic, or next week's
yeah,
topic.
it is, yes. But there's that verse, do not take the Lord's name in vain. I mean, it's part of the Ten Commandments. It shows up multiple parts in the Bible, multiple times in the Bible. So, and what's funny is in the Hebrew language, when things were said twice, that was them emphasizing it. English language, we lose that because when you just say it twice, that just means you got a disability or you stutter or something. But back in the Hebrew language, when they said something twice, they really meant it.
yes. Truly, truly I say unto you.
Yeah, truly, truly, yeah, they're emphasizing the truly there.
Some
In the
translations
beginning
say
was the
very
Word, and the
truly I
Word
say to
was
you,
God.
or
You know,
or you just be NIV and say I tell you the truth. Right. Is that even that very effective? Come on,
yeah,
NIV.
exactly. Well, yeah, they translating it to modern English. Like we don't need the second truly, but you lose some of the Hebrew there.
Yeah.
But yeah, like First John, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and it goes on to more talking about how God and Jesus, they were in the beginning. Jesus being the Word, and it says it over and over again for the first three verses there, and then uh, God in the when creating the universe, tell it was good. For all 6 days. At the end of the days, it was good. And for in Genesis 1:7 when it was creating man, I believe it's 1:7, but it's like um in the image of God, He created them, male and female. He created them. It's like He wants you to know He created
Yes.
them in the image of God. Yeah, it's being emphasized there.
That's their way of emphasizing things and saying
That's
things
their way of
twice.
emphasizing things. So it's that's pretty cool. I
It
just
was
learned
back
that
when
this
they didn't
time.
have
That's pretty cool.
expressions or loud voices.
Hmm?
It was back when they didn't have expressions or loud voices, so they
Yeah,
couldn't
back before the
emphasize things that
exclamation
much.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
that the saying it twice is kind of like their big exclamation point.
Yes. Yeah, for real.
Hmm.
All right. Well,
Well, this has been a productive talk.
productive topic. Yeah.
Yeah,
For episode
productive.
1.
Mhm,
It's good that we talked
very good
about the
episode one.
theology side first because I've honestly now I'm thinking that's probably the biggest of the three.
It is definitely the biggest of the three. It
Yeah.
is, the main part of the Christian life and main part of the reason why we should be having fun is because,
Having
to
music
be
or
honest,
games. Yeah.
this earth is the closest any of us are going to be to hell.
Yep.
And so, we only got better stuff coming. So, I got, tons of anticipation and joy knowing that I'm going up to heaven when I die.
Yeah.
This is the worst it's ever going to be. And it's only going to get better from here. So, I mean,
Yeah. I mean, you could look at it in a way of saying, like, I mean, only getting better from here. Like, you won't have the worst day of your life, like when you're 40. Who knows?
well, yeah, I could definitely have the worst day of my life when I'm 40. You never know.
Right. But the way you're
But
saying it is saying from this earth to
Yeah, this
Yeah.
little blip of existence of me, like whatever it is, whether I die tomorrow or I die when I'm 100 something,
Yep.
this little blip of existence is nothing compared to heaven
Yep.
and the eternity there. And what's really sad is there's going to be people on this earth, whether they chose to not follow our God or they just weren't reached because, we didn't want to get off our tushes as Christians to
Right.
reach them. They're gonna go to hell, and this earth is gonna be the closest to heaven they'll ever be.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's really
That
sad.
is sad. Yeah. This earth being
Yeah,
the
this
most
earth is the
joyful.
closest some people are gonna be to heaven, and it's
Yeah.
sad. It makes you, yeah, when you think about it like that. It's like, but you can go say something. Go say something to your coworkers, your
Mm-hmm.
friends, your grandparents, family members. It's like, you know,
I feel like work
there's somewhere,
especially.
there's a place better than this earth, and I want you to be there.
Yeah.
I want to party with you up in heaven because
Oh yeah.
he's making us a house, which God created the world in 7 days. He spoke light into existence in one, um,
Yep.
and he breathed life into man, and after forming him from dust. So if God takes that long to make the work, to make the earth, and he's up in heaven, making houses for us, those are gonna be some swanky houses, man.
Oh yeah.
We're
They're gonna be
gonna,
lit to the
oh
max.
yeah, oh yeah. Yep, and then he's preparing a feast too. Can you imagine how good that food's gonna be?
Oh yeah.
It's like I don't think there's gonna be any food here on earth that's gonna be quite as good as that feast.
No. Not even
Yeah.
close.
Yeah. Yep. The closest anybody has probably gotten to that feast was the wedding that Jesus turned the water into wine.
Oh, Levi is sideways.
Oh, Levi's sideways
Yeah,
down.
I'm fixing it. My phone is not liking it.
There we go.
You get that thing submitted?
Yeah, and I just have to submit one more thing. So
Nice.
Okay, cool.
Um, yeah, when I hear that, I'm at work and 80s music plays and they play that song, Heaven is a Place on There. And I'm like, man, shut up.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're talking about.
No, there is nothing here on earth that's gonna anywhere close to heaven.
Hmm. And I guess I'm going into next episode topic a little too much, but there's also a song that goes, I want to know what love is. I'm like, do you really?
Yeah.
You really want to know what it is? It's patient, kind, does not envy, does not boast. You really want to know all that?
it actually brings up like a really something that I actually like, a book I've been reading, which has actually been really good. And kind of like one of the points it made was well, okay, I guess first of all the book, it talks about the fruits of the spirit and kind of like the relation to like worship and stuff like that. So it's a
Okay.
cool topic. But anyway, one of the points it made was that, which I thought was really good and I never really thought about before that much, is that love is kind of an embodiment of all the other fruits of the spirit. Because like, how are you supposed to show self-control if you don't have love? How are you supposed to show peace if you don't have um love for the person you're showing peace for? you know so like, if you kind of think of all the fruits of the spirits, like in order to truly and fruitfully act out that fruit of the spirit, you have to have love, which was which is really interesting. And like First Corinthians 13, like love does not boast, love does not envy. Like, it kind of like, you can look at that and you can see like how it just says love is this, and you can pick like, fill in that this with a different fruit of the spirit.
Yeah.
Just like read First Corinthians 13, kind of like see what like First Corinthians 13 talks about. Like, see like, oh yeah, that like this talks kind of like talking about this fruit of the spirit or whatever.
That also reminds
It's
me
really
of another part of
another
the.
really interesting thing. Sorry, I'm getting off tangent, but my screen is
Okay.
frozen, so I just see Isaac with his eyebrows raised, and it's kind of tripping me out.
That's funny. That's funny. You're just sitting there going,
Yeah, he's it's like that.
mm.
Oh,
It is quick.
Yeah. I was gonna say, um, Paul was mentioned that though I may speak with bravest fire, and have the gift to all inspire. I that's the song version. I don't know if it says does it in that flow of poetry in scripture, but and it goes on to say, but have not love, my words are vain. I forget what happens after that, but I'm quoting a
there's also
song. That's the only way I remember. But it's just saying
yeah,
that
there's also the verse in 1 Corinthians 13. You though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels, but have not love, I have become sounding brass or a clanging cymbal.
that's what I'm quoting pretty much. I'm pretty sure
Okay.
just through a
Yeah.
song.
Yeah, you can have, you can speak perfectly.
I'll pick up here.
You can,
I don't want.
have the perfect
Oh,
life.
wait.
You can be someone like, Taylor Swift, where everybody thinks they're perfect.
Yeah,
Their songs are great. Swifties are gonna come after me now, but
they're gonna try,
they're gonna
but we
try,
have a
yeah.
higher power.
Hopefully, there's no Swifties.
But
I don't
without
know how
love,
much
everything
about.
is not. I mean,
Yes.
without love, you really aren't a Christian. Like, if you cannot love someone, you know, it doesn't matter how much you preach to them, or it's like if you can't get past your feelings of, judgment, and which, to be fair, some people deserve it, but it's like if you can't get past that and love like God loves these people, it's like cuz God died for them too,
Yep.
then, you won't get through, and you won't without love you don't have anything.
Yep. Well, with that,
Yeah.
I've probably said that 3 times now, but
Yeah.
that mostly wraps up how
Yeah.
Christians should have fun
Kind of,
as
yeah.
being the main
More
A
topic.
bunch
mainly,
of other random tangents too.
yeah, with a bunch of random tangents.
Yes,
Yeah.
but that's how it's gonna go. That's
Yeah.
how the 3XNL podcast will go.
How long
The
is some?
greatest fun you can have as a Christian is when you realize that you the fruit of your labor has, come to pass. You get the harvest.
Yes, the
It's like,
harvest.
yep, my
Basically, when you're
mother,
the most like
at
Jesus, you're the
church,
most fun.
she just had someone come back that she just loved, like, wow, 8ish years ago. Just loved them when they came to church, and they left the church, came back 8 years later, and the main reason why they did is because, my mom loved on them, and that's what, at least that's what she told my mom. So it's like, you know
Yeah, it can really impact a
you
lot.
can really impact somebody. You can, just by loving on them. Like, my mom did not preach or anything at all. She made them a birthday, made her a birthday cake, and had them come over, and just loved on them.
Yep.
Yeah, well, now they're back in the church. So,
Yep.
but yeah. So that's honestly, it's the um, greatest,
The
joy
greatest
of all.
commandments. Yep.
Yeah, when you fulfill, when you see, your work rewarded, see it come to fulfillment. I haven't seen a whole lot of that happen quite yet, but yeah, I've seen stuff with my uncle, and my mom, and family members and friends, and seen people come to Jesus, and I've seen people, or heard of people come to Jesus, and it's great.
Yep.
Like, it's one more person I get to party with up in heaven.
It is. Yeah. Bring the crowd.
Oh yeah, yeah. I really like Tim Hawkins' take on heaven. He's a comedian. He likes to make jokes,
In case you
but
didn't
it's
know,
like,
That's what comedians like to do. Yep.
oh
make
yeah,
jokes to make you
uh-huh,
laugh.
yes,
My
yeah.
phone's on.
Because as Christians, our life should be full
Oh,
of
we got
laughter.
packing sandwich.
Yeah.
It's like, That's actually where I got the
Your name.
yeah, Isaac is laughter.
Yeah.
Means laughter. But Tim Hawkins was the one who I think originally said that heaven's going to be great. I mean, he's been up there preparing heaven for how many years, and it took him 7 days to
To make Earth.
do the earth. He's the
The
one
entire Earth.
I originally heard that from.
Yeah.
So
Actually,
it's like his take on heaven is like it's going to be a party, man. We get to worship God for eternity, and I can't wait. And it's a discussion for another time, but I think there's going to be multiple different genres up there too, not just
Not just
classical.
metal or classical.
Yeah, yeah. Everything
There
can
will be a place
glorify
for
God.
metal. It's not all metal is not all the devil. Why should the devil have all the good music?
No, no, the devil doesn't have all the good music. It's only like devilish music if the composer you
Intends
know
it to be.
intends it that way.
that's honestly
There
a
is a
really good.
lot of good Christian metal and a lot of good Christian rock.
Yes.
Yeah, that's honestly a
So
really good point. Because honestly, like, I can see what people say about not liking, Christian music, but I mean, there's there is music out there that's Christian that's enjoyable to listen to. You just gotta like know
oh,
it.
I
Find it.
like listening to hymns
Yeah.
too. Hymns are great, but like there's
I know.
metal and
Like
rap
if we
and
ever get to about talking
rock,
to that, like we can just give examples,
hip hop.
But yeah,
Yeah.
there is plenty of Christian music, like along
Mhm.
all genres, like Christian contemporary, Christian rock, like that, or Christian country, anything like that. That I can see people easily listen to and be like, wow, yeah, like Christian music sucks.
Mhm.
Like I can easily see that.
There's lots of great Christian music though. There's Christian music in every genre.
Yeah.
Mhm. But
When
anyway, I think we're starting to get off on another tangent now. I'm pretty sure we were supposed to end. So
Yeah.
yeah, let's save
we'll
some
save
things
these
for
We'll
discussions for
tomorrow.
save a
another
lot of
time.
these tangents for another day. Yeah. I've written a
Yeah.
lot of stuff down, so it's good.
Yep. We gotta have stuff for the next couple
Yeah.
episodes, right?
Otherwise, this will be a 5-parter.
Anyway, if you somehow made it this far though, like thank you for listening to our podcast.
Congratulations.
Yeah, good job. Good
Yeah,
job.
you are
You listen
you
to us rant for
exuberate
about an hour,
the
so
fruit of the spirit,
or whatever.
especially in your overflow of your patience. Like
Yes.
you have to have some
Yes, you have a great
really good patience in
good
order to
job.
get through this
Mhm.
far with
Unless you skipped ahead, which you could. Does that
yeah, but
count?
anyway,
If you skipped ahead, this is not for you don't get the bonuses here.
yeah.
That
Right.
doesn't count.
Yeah.
I think it still counts if you listen to it at like 2 times speed. I mean,
Yeah, I
but only
agree.
like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
half.
agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
So
yeah,
here's
like
the
2 times
thing.
speed
Here's
only
the
half
thing.
counts.
If you fulfilled the YouTube algorithm stuff, then it works.
Yes.
If you didn't skip it
Wait,
all, you got to skip because that gives us 100% watch time. Because if you skip
does
it
it really?
all,
I don't
yeah,
even
yeah.
know.
If you don't skip, it keeps watch time up.
Oh.
If you skip, it takes away some watch time. That's why creators will cut out their ads and stuff like
Well,
the
yeah,
rage
because
and
people
stuff.
just because it literally like they gain money to lose an incredible like that entire time of watch time.
Right. Anyway,
Yeah.
also for another topic. So this is the Three Accidentals podcast. Until the next time. Peace out.